So before I begin, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that I want you to keep in mind and to think of for the next 10 minutes. How many of you were focused on the words that came on the screen back there? Were you engaged in them? Did you understand them? Or were you distracted by the phone buzzing in your pocket or the thought of what you're going to eat in the next few minutes? So just keep those in mind. When I was 8 years old, I started to take Zen classes with my dad at our karate dojo that we have been attending for a while. For those of you who don't know what Zen is, it's the Japanese art of meditation. So every Thursday, I would sit in a circle with the other members of the class, cross-legged, palms out, and my 8-year-old self tried to meditate. Every week, I did my best to envision the biggest, blankest, blackest slate. I thought that meditation was ignoring all of your thoughts, closing your mind, and regarding everything that you were thinking as completely non-existent. And because that is the exact opposite of what meditation is, I didn't really understand why everyone was saying that, my meditation makes you more calm or apt to understanding. I totally thought it was a joke. That was when I was 8, and I thought that for a very, very long time, from the time I was 8 to the time I was 15, when I was introduced to mindfulness. So at my school, in my sophomore year, we were presented with the opportunity to join a mindfulness club and program where students were able to practice open meditations and to try and master the art of mindfulness. And considering that I knew nothing about mindfulness, absolutely nothing, I heard nothing about it, and the fact that what I knew about meditation was completely off base, I thought it was not real. Just like meditation, it was not real. The fact that students who practiced mindfulness for 10 minutes a day got higher test scores and got better grades than those who didn't, and the fact that it makes you calm and it makes you understanding, yeah, total joke. I didn't get it. So I thought that until I started to actually attend the program. I started doing meditations and I learned this. Mindfulness, and in turn meditation, is being in the present moment. And it is accepting all of your thoughts as everything that it is without judgment, and accepting it, letting it go without dwelling on it. I learned that mindfulness isn't sitting in awareness and turning off your thoughts and closing your mind. Mindfulness and meditation is sitting in awareness and opening your mind and tuning in closer to what you're thinking and to what it actually is. So in my sophomore year, and even my freshman year before mindfulness, I was what I like to call out of tune with my life. I really didn't know what I was doing, and to put it shortly, I was lost. If you've ever had that feeling where you really don't know what you're doing and you have no direction, it sucks. So, with that being said, I was out of tune. And this for me meant two things. One, I was irrational, and two, I was quick to blame. I was irrational in the sense that I said things that I didn't mean to people. I said some things that I did mean but really shouldn't have said, and I just did things that really didn't make sense after I thought about it. And I was also quick to blame. It was all about what you were doing wrong and what you can do better. And it was never about me. And it was never about how I can change myself. And I like to put it in the mindset of you, me, and we. Because I realized that once you improve yourself, only can you begin to think of how you can improve others, or how others can improve, or how others can change themselves so you can make the situation better. I didn't realize that when you point the finger at someone else, you still have 3 fingers pointing to yourself, because change begins with the individual. And I didn't realize that. And once I realized that, I understood that when I change myself and we all change ourselves together, we can finally progress as a whole. We can finally progress, and we can make things better in our society, in our community, and everything is just a little bit better. So fast forwarding to after sophomore year, or during sophomore year and junior year, which is my grade now. I am completely different. My mindset and the way I perceive the world is so much, in my opinion, it's more positive. I'm able to, think with the you, me, and the we. I'm looking at myself when something is wrong before blaming it on other people, which, that's always nice not to be blamed. And I'm also able to accept every single moment, the good and the bad, and accepting it for what it is, because only when we accept things, even when it's not something very good, that's when you learn, and that's what life is about. So, going back, tune in, awareness, think, actions, and accept. When you guys leave here, this is what I want you to take away. I want you to tune in to your life. I want you to try tuning into yourself. This doesn't mean you have to meditate every day or, be mindful. I mean, I'd like you to be mindful, but it's not something I can really ask of you. But I'd like for you guys to try and tune into yourselves. And I'd like for you to be aware of how you're thinking. And I'd like for you to be aware of how your actions are panning out and how your thoughts affect your actions. When you walk out of here, I want you to be more aware of how aware you are. Were you really aware that there were words going up on there when I was not talking? Did you understand what they meant? Were you engaged in what they were? And lastly, I'd like for you to accept. Accept it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, for everything that it is. Because when you do that, life is just simply something worth living. And so once you accept, I'd like for you to live, and I'd like for you to move on. Thank you.